Everybody, welcome to INF505 Library Services for Children and Young Adults. So this is week 3 and we are starting module 3. Now module 3 runs over 2 weeks, so we'll be doing it for this week and also next week, which is week 4. So I just wanted to give you a bit of an introduction to the module and to explain how you should approach it. So the module is all about how we meet the needs of various community groups. So really what the module is all about is identifying a few of those community groups and looking at their sort of specific needs and how libraries have addressed those needs in the past. Now we've got, there's a whole bunch of community groups that we could focus on. What we've chosen to do is to focus on young adults in particular. We also look at culturally and linguistic diverse young people. We look at LGBTQI youth and what their needs are and how libraries can respond to those needs. And we also look at the homeless community. So initially you might think, well, homeless community is a bit weird for a subject about young people and children. However, the average age of homeless people in Australia is, and this will blow your mind, well, it certainly blew my mind, is 9 years of age. So certainly the public face of homelessness is not a 9-year-old. It's, if you live in a big city like mine, it's older people or perhaps sort of young adult, maybe more likely to be sort of people in their 20s or 30s or older. So certainly not 9-year-olds. However, that is the average age of homeless people in Australia. So it's important that we understand their needs and that libraries are able to respond to those needs. So those are the broad community groups that we look at in this module, which you'll be looking at this week and next week. So as always, there's a whole ton of reading in the modules and there's some videos and things in there for you to work with. There are some forum prompts for you to respond to and to write your thoughts into the discussion list. It'd be great if you could do that. Just to give us some idea of what you're thinking about things, what's important to you, any ideas that have come into your mind as you've been reading through. There's, as I said, there's lots of stuff that you can read in the module, but there's also many links out to further reading. You don't have to do them all. You've got 2 weeks to get through it, but still you don't have to do every piece of reading of all the links that we give you. Really, they're just there if you have a particular interest in something, or if you read something in the module and you think, oh gee, that's fascinating, I'd like to learn more. That's what those links are for. So you can sort of deepen your reading and your understanding about the one particular part of the content if you're interested. Now, in terms of what you should be working on for this week, and obviously there's the module to read, at least get through half of it because you've got next week as well, but also you should be starting to think about your first assessment, and I'm going to make a video about what that is all about, but I haven't done that yet, but it's not due until the 29th of April, so you've got quite a long time. But I bring it up now because the first part of the assessment is, and I'm just looking at it on my other screen here, is you need to, the point of the task is that you need to assess the needs of the community and creating programs and services addressing those for a particular community group. So what we want you to do is to choose a particular community group and work around building a program for them. So that's why this particular module is really good as a contextual background for that assessment, because this introduces to you some of the community groups that you might like to work with. And you could come up with something completely different. You're not restricted to the community groups that we've identified in this module. Any community group that is of interest to you, then you just go for it. But this is just a way to start you thinking. So that's the relationship between module 3 and assessment 1, sorry. So yeah, I think that'll do for this introduction. So work your way through the module, have a look at least at the first assessment, and you might want to start thinking about what community group you are interested in writing about, and then that might direct how much further reading you do around the needs of that particular group, that we have links out to things for you in that module. So I hope you enjoy the week. I'll be back next week. As always, any questions you've got, let me know, and I'll be very happy to answer those for you. Thanks guys, have a good week, bye.